E-Town has lots of places to visit for the history lover. Great Day Live's Elle Bottom caught up with the Kentucky Historical Society to learn more.
Well, Elizabethtown is going through a complete revitalization and business is booming. It's always great to go back to basics and really dive deep onto what makes this town so special. So I am here with Greg with the Kentucky Historical Society, and tell us a little bit more about Elizabethtown.
Thank you, Elle. So glad to be here on behalf of the Kentucky Historical Society, shining a little bit of light on these historic towns like Elizabethtown. As you said, such a vital town, and so much change and wonderful things happening here. But the history of the town is rich, and we are in the perfect place to share that history. The town was established in 1793, just a year after we became a state, and it's actually named after Elizabeth Hines, whose husband gave the original acreage for the town. So it's a really great town. Lots of fun stuff here.
Yeah, and lots of history too, right?
Absolutely, lots of history. One of the programs of the Historical Society is the Historical Marker Program, which shows that history happened here at locations all across the Commonwealth. And here in Hardin County and Elizabethtown, there's a lot of great markers. Some of them include the home that General George Custer lived in. Did you know General George Custer from Custer's Last Stand lived here in Kentucky?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea, right? But that marker shows the location of his home. We also, the Brown Pusey home is a wonderful historic home here in town that you can tour, and there's a marker on that. There's a marker telling the story of a gentleman who received the Distinguished Flying Cross for his work during World War II. So that's just some of the history, but to really get to know the history of the town, you gotta meet Kenny Tabb with the Hardin County History Museum, where we are here.
Well, we gotta check it out. So I am here with Kenny here at the Hardin County Historical Museum, and there is a lot of history in here. I mean, 3 floors full of it. So what's a brief overview of the building that we're in?
Well, thank you for being here, first of all. We're very proud of this community, this county, and by all means, we're very proud of the Hardin County History Museum. For the past 20 years, we've been here, but prior to this, it had been the Hardin County Library. And prior to that, it was the United States Post Office for Elizabethtown, built in 1932 by James Wetmore, one of the top architects in the United States. We've got a lot of displays in here, a lot of history in Elizabethtown, Hardin County. Where we're standing right now tells about the first settlers that came here in 1779, 1780. One of my 4th great-grandfathers was along with them, Captain Jacob Van Meter, and so very proud of that fact. We've got a lot of native artifacts in here. We've got a cabin behind us that was taken down in the Youngers Creek area, and then we had to cut it down a little bit smaller to put it in here. But we've got all kinds of displays. We've got Civil War displays. We've got 2 former presidents that lived here at one time, or were here at one time, the same time, Abraham Lincoln and James Buchanan. Of course, he mentioned Custer being here after the Civil War with the 7th Cavalry. We've got just an enormous amount of displays in here. We've had great volunteers. We couldn't have done this without the volunteers. It's a free admission, and without the volunteers, we couldn't keep the doors open. Of course, this is a county-owned building, and without them, we couldn't do it either. So we've had a lot of help, and we cannot believe how it has evolved in the last 20 years since we got the building.
Wow, that is awesome. And what would you say is your favorite display in this building?
That's hard to say. That's hard to say. I like the general store. I like the part about the Helm family, Governor John Helm.
Wow, that is so cool. So if people want to come here, take a visit, get some more information, where should they go to?
Well, they can go to hardinkyhistory.org is a website, and they can see pictures of what we have in here. But they need to come and visit. A lot of things are happening in Elizabethtown right now. Downtown E-Town's going through a renaissance revitalization. New restaurants, new shops. We're having a lot of people come in. We have a sports park here that costs $30 million. Thousands of people come in during the course of the year from all the United States to visit our sports park. So when they come in town, a lot of them come down here. Then we have a lot of people here locally who have never been here, and when they finally get here, they say, well, I didn't know you had all this in here. So it's a shock to them, and they appreciate it as well once they get here.
I don't don't know about you, but whenever I head out to like a small town to do some exploring, one of the first things that I think of, where are we going to go shopping, right? With Casey Mormon, the owner of the Swanky Shop, because this is one of the places that if you're planning like that girls trip or a little weekend getaway, you have to check this out. I mean, let's talk about some of the brands you have, because you don't have to go far to the city because you're going to find a lot of great selection here.
Yes, and actually that was my whole concept when I started this store. Was I was noticing that my friends and I, when we did want to go shopping, we're always going to Louisville. We were always going to Lexington, and we were like, this is nonsense. And so I did start bringing in some of the higher end clothing like Tyler Bow. We have Draper James, Reese Witherspoon's brand here, Julie Brown, things like that. So we do have some high-end, good quality fashion here, but then we also kind of have some more affordable prices that range, from $20 to $40 too. So it's a good mixture, the store is, I think. So,
Absolutely.
yes.
And I mean, to have that kind of a price point here in Elizabethtown too, because it's so true when people travel and they want to find something new, there's something really great about finding that store where you're never going to believe what I found there.
Right.
And I bet you have a lot of people that then become repeat customers.
Yes, which is actually amazing to me when we get like a website order from somebody in Florida or Louisiana. I'm like, how did you even find me?
The brands, the quality.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it is. The word of mouth is a good thing there.
Absolutely. Even down to the accessories that you carry, the jewelry. These are lots of great names as well. Talk about those.
Yes, well, we do have lots of good accessories. We have fun stuff like John Wynn, who's just like a classic kind of person. All of his jewelry does that. But then we also have just like super fun, eclectic stuff that's just like bold colors and bright. But that's kind of my personality. I'm a good mixture, I think, of like old vintage, but also very loud and trendy. So
that sums up the store really well. It really, really does. Right? Like, talk about the brand that you're wearing in your
So I have on Anna Kate collection today, and she is definitely one of our like higher brands, but I love her. And a lot of the brands I carry because I love them. So, I want to wear them.
Or people see you in the clothes and they're like, what is that?
Yes,
I want that.
That happens all the time too.
Yeah.
So.
And then you dressed me in
Tyler Bow, and he is a staple. We've had him since we opened, I think going on 10 or 11 years, but it's a great brand too.
Well, I'm thinking even for travel. That's what I'm noticing with a lot of the brands. If you're traveling, you can just throw it into a suitcase or into a bag and it's not going to wrinkle.
No.
And you're going to look polished.
Yes, and that's kind of my thing too. I hate ironing and I hate dry cleaning. And so everything is that way in here. Like that is one of the big things I say. You don't have to iron it because I hate ironing.
I'll take 3. Talk about some of the other things that you have here, because I love how you are supporting a lot of locals that have like smaller businesses, whether it's candles or accessories and just really unique, different things that could be great gifts for the holidays.
Yes, so that is actually something I do pride myself on. I'm from Elizabethtown. My husband and I both are. So I actually do seek out local vendors, local people that kind of do their own thing, and I like to support them. So all of our handmade door hangers. She does these cute little Christmas ornaments, so we're going to have a special event for that coming up. And then we have a lady who I just love, who Lisa French is her name, and she started a candle line, and so I'm very happy that she reached out to me to carry those. We have Henry Dry Goods from Lexington. We host a trunk show here usually twice a year. I worked with them to design local team sweatshirts that are here. And then we have a Lexington candle company that we also use.
So whenever you're out traveling, are you always like on the lookout for other things? Or like, oh, I want that in the store.
Always. Actually, in all of the 10 years I've been open, I've never once been to market, like at all.
You don't need to.
No.
Oh,
and
great.
The reps come here, and I'm a big shopper anyway, so that is how I find a lot of my stuff. So
you mentioned online. Has online become super busy for you, that somebody may locate you like in person and think, I'm going to keep ordering online from them?
Yes, online has been great. It took me a while to kind of get my website going. Obviously, when COVID happened, I really vamped it up then. But even for like our local people that come in here all the time, they get online and will say, oh, I just saw that you posted this sweater online. Will you hold that for me, and things like that. But I also love the people part too. I don't know that I would ever give up the brick and mortar, just because I love the interaction with the people. And maybe that's just this hometown. I don't know, but
that's the charm of E-Town, I think, in general. And you're in a great location for people to understand. Like, you're just off the town square. You can park and go grab something to eat, and then stop into the shop too.
Yes, it's great. We have lots of fun little local, like all of our restaurants are not so commercialized. We have, Vibe Coffee that's here, and Impellieri's Pizza from Louisville. And so it's just unique items items, I think, all around. So
Well, the show's called Hometown Proud.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like there's so much to be proud of right
Yes.
now in Elizabethtown and in E-Town. Why are you proud to not only be from here, but to have a successful boutique
yes.
here?
Well, I will tell you, my husband and I were high school sweethearts, so he's also from here as well. And, we tried to kind of live away. He had to do some training just outside of Baltimore for a while, and we tried to live outside of Cincinnati, and it just did not give us the same feel that we had here. Obviously, our families both are still in the area, and so we moved back, and we have 3 kids ourselves, and so we raised them here, and I really hope they have that hometown, so they moved back by their mother. But
Well, at the rate that you guys are growing, I think
Yes.
you're going to be just fine.
But no, I do think that hometown proud is a good way to kind of describe my personality for my husband and our family, everything. So, yeah.
Well, thanks for showing us around.
Yes, no, happy to.
To get started, go to theswankyshop.com.
E-Town is known for its premier golf courses. Coming up, we're going to take you to one of the community's favorites for a round of golf. Plus, we're going to head back over to Sam Russell's to get a look at their top products, food, and merchandise for your four-legged friend. Hometown Proud E-Town, coming up after the break.